I'm calling it right now. Versus Pulse Chain. Versus Pulse Chain. We're going to be talking about this a lot in the next year. We are about to see, not financial advice. Please do not take this as financial advice. This is all speculation. 100%. I feel we are about to see the largest hockey stick you've ever seen in your life.
Evening, guys. There we go. Okay. 9 people in here. Wow. All right. A little late getting to my office this evening. I think he's trying to tune me in. Okay, I got to get this set correctly. There we go. Good evening.
What's up, bud?
Hi, Coach. Is Zen in here?
Yeah, I think so. What's up, Banana? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you. How's it going?
It's going. Another day. How are you?
I'm doing good. Trying to do good. But it's all good.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah. Yep. 39 hours in the transit system just does not sound appealing to me.
No, sometimes you just gotta let that go.
Yeah, and there were other workarounds, but I was like, you know what? I just don't want to press it. And I can literally, I can literally like do it from my office. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It will be okay. There's a reason for it. And hey, who knows? Who knows why it didn't go the way we wanted. But what's interesting is and I am changing the topic. Is what the market was doing today. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, wow, this is different. Of course, I was scrambling to get out the door and all that, so I didn't pay super much attention. But if you know anything about why the market turned like it did, I'd like to hear it.
China. It's because of China.
Zen?
Well, what Coach pretty much said, China put out their new AI, which is like a form of ChatGPT, but I think it costs 5 times less to operate or something along those lines, which obviously affects United States stocks, which then affects crypto.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I've been able to gather too, is that some of these companies like NVIDIA, I think, and some other ones that are into AI are all, and they're also crypto companies, I believe, would be threatened by China's version of ChatGPT, which is so much cheaper to produce. So that was the reason that I gathered for the big pullback.
And well, the NASDAQ went down 700 points today, and then in terms of the S&P 500 went down as low as 150 points, and then the DOJ, or actually the Dow Jones actually went up. So this is just a little hiccup.
Yes.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very short-lived, really.
Yeah, in the past, things like this are really good buy opportunities usually. These flash crash, like little FUD event things in a bull market are usually pretty good opportunities. But
Yeah, Bitcoin's still over 100,000.
Yeah. I think the lowest in terms of Bitcoin will probably go is probably 96. There's some liquidation levels at 88, but I don't see it going down that graciously.
Sure.
Like the liquidations on the upside are building up too as well. Because like some people are like shorting. I think sorry about that. The next liquidations is probably going to be 110 to about 114. I think that's what I went over in my my private group. So.
Okay. DeepSeek. That's the name of the Chinese AI. So what this is doing, this DeepSeek, from what I watched a video about it. I wanted to hear you guys. I wasn't pulling a funny buddy. I really wanted to hear what you guys had to say about it. But it pretty much mirrors mine of what I heard. But from what I understand, because China and the United States are competing for AI, it's going to just amplify the AI industry. And AI, this gentleman in the YouTube video was saying that the currency of AI is crypto. And that just makes sense because they're both digital. You know, probably I bet if you pinned ChatGPT down and asked it about what it thought about the dollar system and the Fed and all that, it probably wouldn't have very pleasant things to say unless it's been programmed, you know, to say it a certain way. But if it discovered it on its own, it would probably have negative things to say. But the point of all that is to say that, you know, with AI emerging as an industry and it apparently having something to do or some use case for crypto, you know, the next few years are going to be explosive for the industry that we love, which is crypto. And, you know, it kind of goes without saying, you know, we can use AI for crypto related things also.
yeah, all roads are leading in the direction of an absolutely amazing bull run, right? Like AI, as far as how that's evolving and how quickly that's evolving, obviously is pretty pro crypto, along with Trump getting in office is pro crypto, along with the adoption of mainstream companies like BlackRock adopting Bitcoin and ETFs. Like, you couldn't really ask for a better case scenario of just everything coming together at the right time.
Yeah.
It's actually quite amazing that Ethereum is still at this price, honestly.
I'm a little shocked myself at the price of Ethereum. I'm not bearish on it. I'm just saying I think its time must be coming. You know.
Well, Vitalik today, I don't know where he put out the information, but I saw a bunch of people tweeting about it, that he is planning to take action on doing a couple of things with Ethereum to help pump the price. I think he was talking about buy and burns and stuff like that.
Okay.
What do you know? Buy and burns to pump the price.
Yeah.
What a concept. What a concept. What a concept, guys.
And we didn't see. Was it a buy and burn kerfuffle with Utilix? Was that the token a few weeks ago that it didn't rug pull, but it completely nuked. ULTI, I think was the ticker. I don't know whether it actually bought and burned, but I know they nuked a lot of Ethereum, and that was positive for Ethereum in a sense.
Yeah. What's also positive for Ethereum is transactions happening on Ethereum, because that actually stops the inflation and makes it deflationary. So just getting people over there is good for Ethereum. The problem is a lot of the trading is happening off Ethereum now due to Solana and stuff like that. I would say that's probably one of their biggest hurdles. The majority of money is still held on Ethereum, right? But it seems like a lot of the movement has stopped. Obviously, not all the movement. Gwei is still pretty high, but yeah, I think it definitely needs a little bit of attention, and I think he's obviously taking notice of that. But with a little bit of effort, like, you have to realize, like, all they do is literally sell Ethereum. Like, they do, like, all we could ask for is like, hey guys, how about instead you just stop selling it for a little bit, and I'm sure it would do just fine. But that's what's like, what is it, the Ethereum like Foundation or something like that? You have to kind of look at that and like think about how much overhead that has, and then ask yourself, how does it pay for all this overhead? Well, they have to usually sell Ethereum to pay for that overhead. And that's what I find so beautiful about Pulse Chain, is due to the fact that we forked Ethereum, and then we can adopt any changes that Ethereum makes via every developer that they have on payroll. It makes that so we can adapt with every change, like pretty much technically somewhat free of charge, right? Like they spend all the money to get it, and then we kind of just bring it over to us, which is obviously beautiful for Pulse Chain, because it makes our overhead expenses very, very low as far as a blockchain goes. And then for us, pTGC operating on that, obviously we're fully decentralized and operate autonomously, so we don't have any overhead expenses, thankfully. So yeah, it's just really interesting to think about that, right? Like that they just, and this is most blockchains, right? That's what's so beautiful about Pulse Chain. Even Bitcoin, like the reason Bitcoin functions is from people mining it, and eventually they have to sell what they mine to pay for electricity and whatnot. But Pulse Chain has very, very little of this. So in the long term, this is good for price, very good for price, which makes it amazing. You know, it's just awesome that we're built on here, because if it's good for Pulse Chain price, that means it's good for our price, because wherever Pulse Chain goes, we go.
Right. Danny Ortiz asks, where's the best place to buy pTGC and UFO? PulseX. Set your slippage to 6 for pTGC and 7 for UFO to offset because you're going to pay for the fee. PulseX, Danny. Hope that helps.
Banana, your YouTube this on Sunday was pretty damn good. I just wanted to say.
Thank you.
You had a lot of people watching it.
Oh, over 300, like 335 or something, like at the peak. I was impressed. If you guys want to see it, go ahead.
Is that the most you've had? Or?
I think I've had 500, maybe. For some weird reason, I think maybe 500 at some point. But for a Sunday afternoon AMA, that was, I think that was a record. I could probably find out in my analytics on YouTube, and I should. But
at least was that the most active the chat's been?
Yes. Oh, yeah. The chat was almost unmanageable. Like I'm thinking, man, I need some help over here. Somebody just answer some questions. It was a blast, really. So if you guys didn't know, I did an AMA yesterday, but it was more opportunity for me to practice my presentation. So I spent 15 minutes demoing pulsetgc.com, 35 minutes on presentation, and then the rest of the time answering the chat questions. But yes, the presentation, I thought it went decent. And then what I'm going to do, so for the Panama thing, since I am not physically there, I'm going to record it tomorrow. And I'm working this all out with Randy and his wife. I'm going to record it tomorrow, send them the link to the YouTube, and they're going to play it in my spot. So I'm going to record it. I'm going to record it, and I might do a little editing, which is cool. I'll have an opportunity to edit if I can, because I got the software to do that, and then I'll put it up on my channel and put a link in the Telegram. Then you guys can all watch the presentation with the slides and everything.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, it might even flow I think you flowed pretty good, honestly. But gosh, if you can even edit a couple spots out, you could probably make it spotless.
Yeah. Yep. There was one time when yesterday I couldn't resist. I had to kind of pause to take a note. I was like, oh, I can't just depend on my memory for this. So I had to, I really wanted to pretend like I was in front of the audience, but tomorrow I will be. In a sense.
Excited for it.
Yeah,
but,
thanks.
When I was listening to it yesterday, I saw your chat was just a lot of people were talking, which was nice.
Yes, and who knows how many views it might get? When it's the for real, presentation. The only thing is I won't have a legit thumbnail for it unless I can get one from Agent real quick. But I can always do one later. But yeah, so we will basically have that presentation on my channel, and we can pass it around, to onboards and such, or to people that maybe are curious or haven't heard about the greatest currencies, because it's obviously tailored for a particular audience, but I think it would work for many audiences, probably not no coiners, but people that have some experience with crypto. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think if it's someone on Pulsechain and they want to learn about it, you could get them that video, and it's a pretty awesome crash course for sure.
Cool. Yeah, with visuals too.
the visuals make it a lot better.
Yeah.
It really can hit both people visually, and some people obviously learn well from listening. I'm a pretty visual person, so I think the visuals definitely would help me.
Okay. Yeah. I was very hesitant about the presentation until I got into the slides part of it. And I realized that with Canva, you can make your not PDF, but there's a name for it, but you can make slides and you just click right through them. And once I figured out that I can make slides and how to edit them and put all the information that's in my head or on my presentation into a slide with images that we have on Telegram, all of the art that Tricky and the other guys have made over the months and months, I was like, oh yeah, man, this is really going to liven it up and take the focus from the speaker and put it onto the content.
Yeah, no, I think it all came together awesome.
I agree. And that's when I finally started getting excited about it. I was like, oh yeah, we can, there's basically one slide every minute. So, well, we we broke some records over the weekend. I'm just going to say, yesterday morning, Sunday morning, somebody was like, yeah, we're at an all-time high on both tokens. 2 tokens at an all-time high. I was like, yes, but it's even better in being all-time high on 2 tokens, being all-time high on two tokens, 2 different ways on price and versus the native token of the blockchain. So we were doing a 4x. 2 tokens were doing a 4x in performance. Just the way I look at it.
Well, technically, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tokens in terms of the Grays ecosystem that hit another all-time high. Technically.
Yeah. Okay, you're talking about two tokens aside from pTGC and UFO.
Yeah, I'm talking about burn, 808, liquid, and energy.
Sure.
All hit another all-time high.
Good deal.
What a concept.
That's wonderful.
So what besides the price against Pulse, anything else that was a really positive analytic you took a note of, Banana?
Yeah, I got an analytic.
Go.
In terms of pTGC to burn liquidity, that is $3.3 million right now. It's probably our biggest liquidity pool.
pTGC to burn?
Yeah, I'm actually double checking and looking at it real quick.
I think it would be pTGC and WPLS.
Actually, no, it's pTGC to liquid is our biggest LP pool.
Oh, really?
That is 3.8 million. What is it for 808? Let's see. 808 is 2.1. What is this? I don't care about energy. That's kind of cool data.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to grow liquidity when both tokens are actually going up instead of the situation that we've been in with Pulse Chain.
I'm refreshing my Secreto bank so I can look at the liquidities.
Are you sure the UFO one isn't bigger, Coach?
Oh, let me look. Sorry, let me take a look. Read a book. Let's see. That is all right. It's double the time. 6.5. So UFO is bigger. But I have to, my other children. You got to talk about my other children every once in a while.
UFO has a $7 million pool with PDI.
It's stupid. It's crazy.
But
people really don't get it.
The largest pool in pTGC is WPLS. The second one is PLSX.
Out of the main tickers.
No. It's actually WPLS, PDI, and PulseX. Actually, out of the main tickers. Oh, you're talking about out of the non-main, then outside the core four, Coach.
He was including our amplifiers.
Yeah, the amplifiers.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a while since I looked at those.
Me too, actually.
It's like, what other tokens do you need to buy out of Alien Tech? Nothing else. What a concept.
So our volume was $500,000 today. I did an experiment today, actually. So while I was sitting in the airplane, I was renewing my little notebook that I keep notes in. And that was productive time. I actually finished it. And one of the things that I took note of was how many dollars, like I wrote down how many dollars I earned per volume. I was keeping track for like a week. And I actually figured, and you guys can figure this out for yourselves. Just make a note what the volume is on pTGC or UFO and what your rewards, your reflections, your staking, LP rewards, all that stuff is for each token. And then you can estimate how many and get an average. How many dollars, you might want to do tokens instead, actually, you're earning per, quantity of volume. And I did that experiment today, and it worked out.
Dollars would probably be better, just to be honest with you.
You're right. Yep.
Because volume's in dollars. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, I did it right. Yes.
Or
it came.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No, yeah, but I can maybe code it. You know what I mean? Okay, let me think this through. If a guy if a guy, and this is just kind of almost like back of the napkin math. This is not a true science. Let's see. Let me rework it a little bit. Okay, I think I can do this. For every $100,000 in volume on pTGC, if you're obviously everybody holds pTGC, but if you have it staked and also actually just staked, I didn't count any lock-in rewards. For every 100,
because locking doesn't have anything to do with volume.
Yeah. Yep. For every $100,000 in volume, your pTGC that's staked is earning $7.27.
For what size position?
Oh, you're right. You'd have to figure that out. That would be, yeah, I already spoiled it, dude. I already spoiled it. Rah.
All right. No need to. If you don't want to share the position side, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I always try to like make clear to people is your percentage of the supply. So your position size, if that's a shark or a dolphin, or a fish or a whale, right? That's your percentage of the rewards. So the bigger percentage you have of the circulating supply, the bigger percentage of the rewards you're going to receive.
Yes.
And when you kind of break it down like that, it's actually pretty simple to understand, because also that's your percentage of the whole entire machine. That's your percentage of the liquidity, technically, as long as someone doesn't rip a ton out before you. That's your percentage of the buy and burn, because the buy and burn is increasing your price of the tokens. So you kind of just want to ask yourself, like, I look at this machine at a value, right? Right now, let's say the market cap is the value, or the liquidity is the value. We'll use UFO for an example, $20 million of liquidity. I look at that as that value. Well, I own a shark position, 0.1% of the supply.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like justify it that way. Like, that's my share of this value, and this is what it produces. But if you want to own more shares of that value, you do have to buy it, right? And when you're buying it, you're actually increasing the value of the whole entire machine. Not only making your percentage of the machine greater, but also making the machine worth more. And then when you're injecting value into that machine, you're giving the machine more value to work with. So now that can earn more money, not only for you, but for everyone else involved.
Right. Yep. So the point of that experiment that I was doing is that you can figure out how many dollars you're making per given amount of volume. And then when you go to Secreto Bank, you can do some math real quick. You can be like, oh, okay, it's a $1 million day, 1 times whatever your earnings were for $100,000. But you can do the math. You follow that. You guys do. That way you don't have to go to your wallet all the time. You can just look at the Secreto Bank or find out what the volume is, and bam, there you have it.
Yeah, that would get you pretty dang close. The other nuances of it is if a lot of people like unstake or something like that, you'll earn a little bit of additional, but
yes,
but that's not much compared to what you receive in the rewards.
Yeah. I did have one little revelation. You asked for revelations or insights. I did get one other one, but before I find that in my notes here, Clockington on YouTube has been a buddy of mine for a couple of years, and he says, "Thank you, Prairie, for onboarding me into pTGC in August 2024. Good job, dude. It's good to see you too, by the way. Best decision of my cycle. One of my worst decisions, unfortunately, was LPing UFO with ink. Ouch. Well, the good news about that, Clockington, is that you guaranteed and you locked in those share rates when you made that LP with UFO and ink. The system gave you an unchangeable UFO share rate that guarantees your pulse rewards for that position. So, I mean, the guys that are getting these, and I'm calling them these, early share rates are not going to be so likely to end their LP because A, you're going to walk away with less UFO. You're going to have the other side of the pair, but less UFO. And then B, if you wanted to re-enter that pool, you would have less of a share rate. So the workaround for your UFO and ink pairing is to hodl. But yeah, I'm glad you got in. Congratulations, and I'm glad it's been a good ride for you. That's awesome. So one thing I figured out is that, all right, let's think through this.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Do you know what the worst performing RH ticker has been since UFO launched? Is it ink? It might be ink. I would have to look at the Go Pulse, where you do like the day.
Yeah, I don't.
The year, what everything's done this year.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it might be ink, and the reason I'm saying that is definitely then that would have been the worst pair of the bunch.
I see. Right.
Yeah. Not that it matters that much. I was just thinking about that, like, when you said ink, I went into ink pair. I was like, yeah, I think that might have, no one could have known, right? Like ink could have easily been the best performing ticker just due to, the circulating supply being a lot less compared to other RH tickers that had sacrifices or hex that's been out longer, right? Like the pumpability of it could be really volatile, right? We've seen that already in the past. It pumped really, really hard. So it could have been the most equivalent player, but again, I think it probably was the worst one to go in with, which is nothing to him. It's no one knew, right?
Yeah.
No one could have known. It's just definitely, but who knows? You know what I mean? Ink could go on a random rip, and if it goes on a random rip, maybe if you want your UFO back and you don't want to lose it again, maybe that would be the time to close it down. But the only bad part is you would be losing your UFO share rates.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes. NJ Dub says either ink or EHEX was probably the worst performing one.
EHEX? No, it was the best performing one. You kidding me?
Okay. Wow.
Best performing.
Okay.
My hypothesis, my theory is EHEX is going to be the best performing RH sticker. That's my opinion.
Period. You mean? End of sentence.
Well, it's not period. This is my belief.
Sure.
My belief.
Like this cycle, or
like, do I think it's going to go 1-to-1 with EHEX? Yeah, that's my theory.
Okay.
I think all hex is going to be very, very valuable.
Mm-hmm. Man, I do hope so. We are bullish on RH tickers. Okay, so here's a little insight, and this is Prairie Banana, so I want your feedback on it. If a person unlocks early, they pay 30% in the penalty. I think we can reasonably assume if somebody early unlocks, they want to do something with those tokens. My guess is they probably want to take them to the bank. In order to do that, they're going to end the stake. They're going to have to end a stake, which is 1%. So we're at 31%. Then they're going to want to transfer it, perhaps, to an exchange, and that's 5%, which pays 1% to holders and 1% to stakers. Does that make sense? So that would be a total of 33%. For every unlock, 30% penalty plus 3% if they go through if they sell it, move it to an exchange and sell it. You have any thoughts on that?
I agree with it. Are you talking solely about like the people who are out 10 years, like what they would be receiving off of? Because you're obviously excluding the other percentages of that fee when you say 33%, right? You're only talking about rewards.
Yes. Yeah, I was thinking from a selfish perspective. When people on early end lock, what does Prairie Banana get? Well, yeah, 30% of the penalties plus part of the end stake fee, and then something to as a holder, and then as a staker, I'm earning some too.
Yeah, and really where I feel like a lot of the value comes from that a lot of people don't realize is, again, the buy and burn due to price appreciation. Because APY is very, very nice, right, Banana? But
yes,
just a 2x can absorb APY really, really quick. 5x is, you know what I mean? So like price appreciation is always is very important. So I love the fact that it's not only about the APY, but it's also about the buy and burn, which helps with price appreciation, because the price appreciation is what everyone's charting. Really, like on Kong's site, APY, we're like charting and we're like getting in the nitty gritty of all that data. But that's like us in this sub ecosystem that are obsessed with this product. But an outsider looking in, the first thing they're going to look at is the chart.
right.
So we want great price appreciation because then the chart looks good, right? And I personally think that side of it is going to be very, very valuable to this ecosystem. And I think it's been very valuable. Like, what has been the thing that attracted people to this ecosystem? And like, honestly, like if anyone's listening in, what was it? I honestly think if it's anyone, and Banana, you can maybe answer this, is when you got in, what was the thing that attracted you the most to this ecosystem?
I'll tell you what attracted me. It was the excitement of all the guys in the chat talking about, this alien tech and how it's, and all the bullishness, all the bullish talk in the chat really won me over. And I could kind of get a sense what they were. I couldn't wrap my head around it all, but I could kind of see what they were referring to, and so, kind of seeing what they were talking about, and understanding that these guys have been in here longer than me and understand this, and they're like beyond excited. And that's what drew me in.
But before you landed a chat, did you say kindness? Was it crypto kindness that you were watching, or am I remembering correctly?
You're on the right track. Crypto kindness dropped a tweet with an image of Axis Alive's membership in the Gray's Currency Telegram. And I look up to both those guys, and especially to Axis Alive as kind of a quiet, kind of very intelligent TA guy. And when I saw that he had joined the Telegram and had already heard about it from Crypto Kindness, and at least I think I'd heard it from Crypto Audi King too, and maybe one other guy. That's when I was like, okay, Axis is in, I'm in, and I got in immediately.
Yeah. So I actually like that answer because that answer was different than what I was kind of even getting at. And I think it's a kind of a cool talking point because I kind of have a few tweets about this, like swimming with the whales, or like you want to be in a pack, right? And you want to be with the other, alphas within crypto, the people that you look up to. And if you're looking at people you looked up to, or, your community within crypto, and you see them all kind of rallying behind this specific product, you kind of get intrigued, right? You're like,
yes, okay,
well, I'm intrigued by these people, and they're obviously intrigued by this product. So I should look into it.
Yep. Yeah, you should. Really. You should read the white paper, ask some questions, maybe read the white paper again. I think I read the white paper. I probably read it no less than 5 or 6 times over the course of a couple of months.
And that was like a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Like in this last year, we've definitely gotten a lot more people into this community to be part of this, this pack with us. And being in the pack is strong, being with a strong community, you're more likely to survive, right? The bigger and stronger pack you have, the more likely you are to survive. That's why nature animals operate within packs.
Yes.
Safety, a lot of reasons.
I did notice something interesting today. Ooh, this is better. I was talking to Elijah earlier today, and I was recalling the average number of wallets, and I was wrong. I was a good wrong. The average wallets for January, I'll tell you in a minute, but we should backtrack. November was 30 a day. We averaged 30 new wallets, pTGC wallets a day. December, we averaged 28, so 2 less. So far in January, and we're almost done, 41. 41 new wallets a day. That's a record. I mean, I think so. I wasn't here. I haven't been keeping records the whole life cycle of pTGC, but, I bet for a monthly record, I bet for a month span, it wouldn't surprise me if that's a record. 41 per average, 41 per day for a month. Yo.
Yeah, I definitely think in the last year, that's probably a record. Maybe in the first months when it first came out, when you're kind of getting a lot of small wallets, which are now big wallets, but at that time, small wallets. But definitely, I think in the last year, that's probably the record.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go back a little further. So we said that December was 28, November was 30, October 27, September 23. Are we noticing a pattern here? We have doubled our average wallet additions our average daily wallet additions since September. So September, October, November, December, January. In 5 months, we basically nearly doubled the number of wallets happening every day.
Yeah, and I bet those wallets, this would be too hard to keep track of, most likely, but I bet you these wallets that are coming in are getting more than those wallets too.
What do you mean? Are you buying more tokens?
I wouldn't say buying more tokens, but using more value.
Yes.
Entering more value.
Yep. Yeah. I would say yes.
Which in turn means more value entering the liquidity pools, which means more value entering the web, which means more value working for the system, generating more revenue for buy and burns, LP ads, and APY.
Yeah. Yep. We had 141 new wallets added yesterday, but I'll be honest. I get my wallet count from scan.mypinata.cloud, and it just seems to hold some and then burp them all over the next day. Sometimes it's very inconsistent and there doesn't seem to be a smooth or a rhyme or reason why. There's so few one day and so many more the next. It's almost like they're held on the system on their site until it just burps them all over sometimes. But yesterday was 141. So we'll see how many there are tomorrow.
Yeah, but you're obviously just adding them up between a whole month and dividing them by that month, right?
No,
Or-
no, I'm getting a new reading every day. Like there have been 12 new wallets added since I recorded this morning. I'll share my screen and show you guys what I'm doing here. So this morning there were 11,430 pTGC holders. Right now there's 11,442. So I would record whatever it is in the morning, and my spreadsheet will do the math for me and show over here in the blue column how many new wallets per day. When it did it this morning, it was 141 new wallets. And there's our average right there. So I imagine we're going to be below average for today just because of how the market was. So 1 million pTGC now costs $817. Was there any other news?
I think that about covers it. I'm trying to think anything I've seen in the last day or two. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Mando's coming up. He might have something.
Yeah. Sure.
What's up, Mando? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
So I'm looking at the live burn site, and the kind of the numbers that are coming in for the burn today. It's basically about 5,000, and then I'm looking at the distribution of the rest of the fee, and it's interesting because we had just this recent drawdown with this whole deep seek thing, and the amount of tokens that are still in the liquidity pools is 5.1 billion, which means that almost basically the entire drawdown in terms of the USD price of pTGC has nothing to do with anybody selling pTGC and everything to do with the reflexivity of the bonded liquidity. So if you're sitting in something like Stables or maybe ETH that didn't go down as much, you crushed it if you were waiting to take a position. But we kind of stare at the 24-hour burn on that site, which right now says 6.3 million essentially. But I'm looking at the fact that on that site, that's basically $4,930 in burn in 24 hours. But also in 24 hours, there's the same amount that went to holders for reflections. There's the same amount that went to stakers for reflections. Half went to liquidity. And then there's double that went to the DAO, which either buys and burns, or half goes to liquidity. So I'm looking at, the tipping point concept, and I'm looking at the fact that unless people are selling the tokens back into the liquidity pool, the real effect is very similar to the buy and burn, because you've got $4,900, for example, today bought and burned, but you've also got $4,900 worth of tokens sent to holders, $4,900 sent to stakers, $1,200 that went to liquidity because half had to go to Pulse and half had to go to the token purchase, and then another $9,756 to the DAO, which basically does the same thing. So I'm saying all that to say that when I'm looking at how much is burnt of the token, I can basically multiply that by like 4 in the sense that unless any of that actually hits the market again, that's what's actually being taken off the market every day. And I think that's what's really ratcheting up the reality of the price movement here, with the amount of revenue that's coming in, with nobody really willing to relinquish any of the tokens. So I'm just saying that as I'm seeing this, it just feels like, wow, okay, yes, it says 6.3 million pTGC were burned today, but triple that, or a little bit more than triple that, or quadruple that, has actually been taken off the market and redistributed into strong hands, into the Dow's hands, and into the buy and burn. So when you're looking at, like, the other day when we had not a $4,000 or $5,000 burn day, but a $18,000 or $20,000 burn day. Well, if you're doing the same numbers, that's like doing a $60,000 or $80,000 of the tokens taken off the market in a day.
Yeah, 100%. So they're not getting burnt, but they are getting bought out of the existing liquidity pool, getting taken from people who are looking to buy, right? And they're getting redistributed to the current holders. If those current holders decide to sell it back in, that's up to them, or they might just hold it, or stakers, right? And
absolutely. I mean, it's what we're seeing right now is that, they're being taken off the market and they're not being pushed back into the pools, because all we have to do to see that is to look at what's available in the liquidity pool to purchase. That number is continuing to go down.
Yeah, I think the last time we were on the spaces, it was 5.3.
Yeah, last, like 2-3 weeks ago, it was like 5.9. Then it was 5.7. Then the other day it was 5.3, and now it's at 5.1, and it was at 5.1 just the other day before this little dip, which again, the USD price dip of pTGC and UFO has nothing to do with people selling it. Mm-hmm. It's just very interesting because, again, it's indicative of the fact that unless you really are paying attention to why the chart is doing what it's doing, you would never know what's actually happening here and how powerful it is.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people are just paying attention to the buy and burn, but really you could pay attention to, with pTGC, gosh, most of just the value that's being generated, right? Which is currently $24,000 today. Plus, you can kind of even incorporate the, what was it, $2,800 from UFO also adding to that system as well. So, yeah, $25,000 of value generated, which is equaling tokens being taken out of the existing liquidity pool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're gonna very quickly here go into the 4 billion range.
Yeah, we were kind of having an in-depth conversation about this on Saturday, just the idea of scarcity and how that's ultimately a huge driving fact of the value of any product. And when you have a ton of scarcity and you have people starting to get a ticket, I don't know if that's the best word, but get in line looking for a position in the protocol. Sometimes that position is at market rate. Sometimes they're waiting for a little discount. Sometimes it's half and half. But if the line gets big enough, it doesn't change the amount of tokens that are in that liquidity pool. Usually, as there's more demand, a company will increase the product's quantity. Like they'll push out more products. They'll revamp size to make do with the multiple quantities of users increasing, right? But with this system, it can never increase. There's never any more of the product. Whatever is in that liquidity pool is all that's offered on the market for purchase. And you think about how big the world is and how small Pulse Chain is comparison and how big it could become really, really quick. And that number still doesn't change. There's still only 5.1 billion tokens on the market currently. Don't get me wrong. Anyone can go and sell their tokens into that, right? But that's what's powerful about having a line of people waiting for any discount is if someone does put those tokens in, they want to change their life, they want to take profits, this is any token. But if there is a group of people waiting for a discount on the product, as soon as it hits the market, they usually will pick it up, right?
Well, yeah, but and then that doesn't even take into consideration that there's a gray whale that's always sitting there with billions of Pulse Chain being generated, ready to pick up pTGC, at undervalued prices.
Yeah, those people are ultimately competing against the code for whatever the tokens are at market value every single day. Some days more than other, but for an example today, $20,000 worth, it bought it. It doesn't care what price it is at. It'll buy it at any price it is of that day.
Yeah, there is no other cryptocurrency. There is no other crypto that has that.
It's going to be very, very interesting when Pulse Chain starts to turn on. Obviously, when it turns on, those tokens will be valued higher, which will make the buy and burn as far as quantity not more, but value-wise will be more.
I'm going to tell you that purchase of the pTGC at that $96 million market cap, that was a steal. My goodness. I think the current value of that, it's just sitting there ready to be burned or added to LP. What is the current value of that? Let's see here. It's $50,000. And then there's 1.1 billion Pulse in the treasury with just a ton more coming. So that was purchased at I'd say like $17,000, and it's now worth $50,000 of pTGC.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Because we're up 2.5x from there.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's really what's nice is, even if, and I do believe there's a line forming for this product, but even if no one wants to buy it at this level, or there is people, they just haven't found it yet, right? You have to remember there's a huge amount of people that actually are looking for this product out there. I actually think the majority of crypto is looking for this product. They just don't know it exists. Personally, I know this is the product I was looking for. A lot of people that I talk to are looking for this product. This is why they enter the space. They end up just being attracted due to shiny objects to other products, and then they get lost in the mess. They get distracted by the noise, but this is really the product I believe people are looking for. Problem is they just haven't found it yet. The thing is as time goes on, it's going to keep appreciating in price if alls keeps going in this direction, because the code isn't stopping and waiting. The code is just going to keep buying and buying and buying. And that's why I've been really pushing that time is of the essence, because the code will keep buying it. And eventually Pulse Chain isn't going to be at these levels anymore. And Pulse Chain is the huge reason we are at these prices currently, that it's still at half a SAC rate, which is the exact same price that pTGC launched at a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Which is just
if Pulse Chain wants to just 2x, well, based on past performance, I would say it would be more than this. But I personally believe just a 2x of pTGC is pretty much not a guarantee, right? Like there could be a huge sell-off, but last time Pulse Chain 4x, we 40x'd. So if Pulse Chain 2x is what, 5x, 10x? Like all this stuff is in the cards just due to the blockchain being somewhat successful. Not even really successful, just going back to SAC rate. And that's why I'm saying time is of the essence. Like I'm really trying, because I know people are looking for this product. I'm really trying to get it in front of people's face, because when Pulse Chain revalues, it's going to revalue the price of this product. Every day that ticks by, the smart contract's going to buy more of this product. If anyone new finds this product that wants it, they're going to buy this product, right? And there's never any more coming into existence. So what does that tell you? If no one sells it, obviously this is not the case. People will sell it. People are going to take profits from it. But let's just say for this example, no one decides to sell it at this level for reasons of they believe it's actually valued higher. They believe this product is worth more. Let's say a lot of people believe it's worth 2 times this value. They're willing to wait. Well, then that means that they're going to have to buy it higher, because there's never going to be anything new. If Pulse Chain doesn't go any lower than it is now, and the smart contract will just buy, even at today's rate, $20,000 worth of it a day, well, then that's $20,000 worth of it a day that it's going to buy. Doesn't seem like much right now, but a quick revaluation will price. It'll revalue the whole system, right? Twice as much liquidity. pTGC, that would put a $10 million liquidity web at 20 million. With UFO, that would put a $20 million liquidity web at 40 million.
Well, then, at just a revaluation to back to where we went at that, not even the all-time high, but that 3021 area, that last lower high, it's a 329% move on Pulse Chain. So, just do a 329% move from here, and we're back at that lower high of Pulse Chain. I just think it's just ridiculous to assume that Pulse Chain doesn't go to blast through new all-time highs and do very well at some point, let alone, go into these lower highs.
Hey, we got a hand raised. What's up, man?
So there was pTGC had a really nice run this past weekend, and that was just the code doing itself without Pulse Chain pumping, correct?
Well,
it was code and human buys. I think PDI also took a nice little pump up, which helped appreciate all of pTGC and UFO due to our liquidity web asset as well. So it was like a combo of things. That's what I find so powerful about it is it's not always just one thing. Like when a few things come together, like this weekend, I feel like it was humans wanting to interact with the code, right? Humans. And then we had the smart contracts just doing what they do, buying burns, buy-in, reward, etc. And then also one of our connected assets going up, obviously revaluing our system just because something we're attached to went up.
And the core tokens were going up too. The core tokens were going up. Pulse was going up. Hex was going up. PDI was going up. It was all going up.
That was impressive to see that, it just doing itself. Imagine everything reflects and full chain pumps and pTGC would go with it. That's just really impressive how it just did it by itself with human and code together.
Yeah, that's, kind of what we're saying with, I think Pulse Chain, at one point we were moving up like 20, 25% on the day, and Pulse Chain was moving like 10% up on the day. Right?
But like, let me just add some context to that comment too. It's just like people need to realize if Pulse Chain goes up, let's just say 50%. We have to come to the conclusion Pulse X is probably going to go up about 60%. PDI is going to have the same kind of reflexivity in terms of going up because of the liquidity pools getting rised up with it. So that there's PDI as well going up that same kind of percentage in terms of the liquidity pools. Teddy Bear is doing the same thing. P-Hex is going up in terms of the Pulse Chain moving up. The same kind of concept. So the P-Hex pTGC pools moving up and raising up the floor price. So instead of just one avenue where there is just one thing that's coming to the table, it's just multiple things that if it's the smart contract buying and burning, smart contract buying whole or buying and adding more liquidity to the Pulse V1 liquidity pool, or it's in terms of pTGC and PulseX on V2 and the compounding effect of the in terms of those pools dead, and it's like a compounding effect. So there's multiple different equations that's actually coming into fruition. And then also it's just if you look at it in terms of I know everybody doesn't really like me talking about the amplifiers, but saying that Burn and pTGC has a $3 million market cap. Liquid and pTGC has another $3 million market cap. So that relationship of raising up the floor price of the whole ecosystem has that ideal of futuristic. So if Pulse Chain does a 10x, pTGC or Pulse X is going to do a 10x, period. Probably is going to do more. Same concept with P-Hex. It's probably going to do a 10x. E-Hex is probably going to do a 10x. Atropa is going to probably do a 10x. Axis is probably going to do a 10x. Inc is probably going to do a 10x. So all the liquidity pools, not just one, but all the liquidity pools that were tied and we RH tickers, is embracing and moving up the price in relationship to the market cap of the holders and stakers and everything. So there's more than just one equation where the bigger picture of what pTGC is, it's a freaking monster. That's the thing, period. End stop, drop, mic drop. And it's if you really think about it in a long-term type of capabilities, if Pulse Chain does 100x, Pulse X does 100x, Inc does 100x, P-Hex does 100x, E-Hex will do basically 100x. PDI is probably gonna, if it doesn't go to $1, it's going much higher. Atropa, 100x. Axis, probably 100x or some kind of thing. TSFI, 100x. Down, 100x. Burn, so that $3 million liquidity pool with Burn and pTGC, that's going to be, if you 100x that's big number, very big number. Same thing with PulseX, big number. In terms of UFO, we have $6 million between pTGC and UFO. If the ecosystem Pulse Chain goes up 100x, how big is that liquidity pool? Just between UFO and PTGC. Just between those two. Like 6 million times 100. Period. That's the bigger picture. That's what people don't realize about our ecosystem and how powerful this is. Like, where's the mic drop thing? Is there a mic drop thing?
I would have gave it to you, man, if I had it. Just wow. With the dude dropping it with the fire behind him, just bam.
Yeah.
I just put in the jumbotron, Coach. You guys can take a look at that. I asked Grok, what is the best performing asset on Pulse Chain? Grok said, the best performing token on Pulse Chain based on recent discussions and performance metrics appears to be pTGC. It has been highlighted for its strong performance, good chart, and effective tokenomics. Posts on X have indicated that pTGC has significantly outperformed other assets on Pulse Chain, with some users noting it shattered all-time highs and provided substantial earnings to holders and stakers over the last 24-hour period. I love asking Grok things because you cut out any bias and you just get what Grok thinks. And I just asked him that, and it shot out pTGC.
That's why I locked mine for a year.
I asked Grok the same question
Phenomenal.
because I saw what you put in the Jumbotron, and I asked the same question. But it did throw in UFO in there too after it mentioned pTGC.
Oh, did it really?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, let's see what
Yeah,
mine says. The best performing assets can vary. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Based on posts from X, pTGC and UFO have been mentioned as standard performers. Specifically, pTGC has been noted for outperforming other assets on Pulse Chain in recent weeks with significant gains and additional benefits from earning yield. UFO is also recognized for its performance. And it goes on.
That's even better, man. 1-2.
The deadly
Yeah, that's
1-2
why-
punch.
How you like that, Zen? Grok's disseminating good information.
He's liking it. I bet it.
No, I like it.
Yeah. So how come everybody else didn't like it? Okay, they're just waiting for their time, I guess.
Hey, but like we said, man, the design of this doesn't require for anybody else to really like it. They can just watch the people that are in, just be blessed.
Yep.
I mean, that's what's been happening the whole time. And everybody think about it. We said 3 months ago, 4 months ago, everyone who's ever bought is in profits. The month later, here we are again. Almost everybody who's ever bought is in profits.
Hey, Mando.
That's insane, man.
Look at this. Remember when we were like, all right, we want to get $5 billion, or not $5 billion. That would be cool. $5 billion.
Our goal's 5 billion pulse in the LP.
I know.
Right?
It's 25 bill.
Yeah, that's just in one. And it's funny because it was the goal to get 5 billion in the main LP, and in the last 2 days, the system's made damn near 2 billion. I think it's like 1.3 billion or something, Zen, right? In the last couple of days, it's brought in. So now it's bringing in, $1 billion something every other couple days or whatever, when the goal was to have 5 billion in the thing for the main pair. It's freaking phenomenal.
Probably the smartest thing I did was stake all my pTGC for a year while I'm up here in Prudhoe Bay freezing my ass.
You mean lock? You mean lock, right?
Lock. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I hope it sits nice and pretty when I come back. Because it'd be nice if I'm home in Texas.
That is a funny metric, though, Coach. I remember when we were, hey, it would be great to. I think I don't see him now. It would be great to get a 5 billion pulse chain core LP, and now it's headed up to 30 billion.
It's a crazy number. Crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers, man.
All right.
And not only is it crazy numbers, but it's capital that's not just sitting there like under the mattress capital. It's capital that is working for the holders. That's the genius of it, man. It's real capital that's actually working. Working capital.
Danny Ortiz bought pTGC today for the first time. Congratulations, Danny. Welcome aboard. You've been here for a while, but I'm glad you got you some.
Congrats. So let me say this too. I was talking to a large holder in the system today, and just very excited. Not overly excited. OG. Yesterday, he put another 40,000 into UFO. So these are people that already have really, really nice positions, and they're just taking money from where they're making profits on other chains, and they're just bringing it right back to these two assets. Now, so, most of the time people think, these guys got in early or whatever. They're buying at the same prices at all-time highs. You think about that. So that's very impressive, man, to have people who've been in since, $1 million market cap, putting 40 G's in at a $260 million market cap, at $150 million. You know what I mean? It says a lot.
Well, there's nowhere else to go. Like, I just came down to the conclusion. I was like, am I supposed to trade on Ethereum if I want to try to make some nice quick flips? No, it's like, no. There's no other ecosystem out there to actually
I was
make
talking
passive
to
income.
God yesterday, Coach. I was talking to you in the space, and that's exactly what he's been doing, man. He's been making money on base, making money on Sol, and he just comes straight back over that bridge with that and just buys up these two tickers, man. But that's what's happening.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did the other day. So I was like, actually a couple weeks ago, I had a nice dip. Whenever pTGC has a nice dip, I wonder who's buying.
But it's rare that early adopters of a thing are buying all-time highs of a thing. I guess that's just my point. That's a rare thing to happen.
I think it's rare in crypto due to the sustainability of most cryptos, right? So that's why it feels rare. But in the real world, like real assets, that's not really rare at all, right? Like if someone who's big into real estate, right? And he has some real estate that he's had for 20 years. But if he hits good on some financial play that he did, a business of some sort that he then sold, does that mean he's not going to put that money in more real estate, more assets that are going to generate him revenue just because he did buy some real estate 20 years ago? That's like
I would say that it would be more akin to like buying Nvidia or Verizon or Tesla at all-time highs, right? Which feels a little bit more speculative than real estate.
I did buy some Tesla call options when it was at its like bottom. Doing pretty well with them.
But not as well as with pTGC and UFO.
Well, true. But Jake can just buy it. Yeah. You could buy the whole chart, but
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, Hayden. You know, it's just real estate just always feels like that solid rock of Gibraltar that, you know, not as speculative as just like legacy stocks, you know, that you could buy that, you know, can't like Nvidia just took a 20% haircut damn near off this deep seat thing, right? Because oh wow, we don't need as many Nvidia cards to do AI.
But and I understand that, but I'm more even thinking about just every asset in general that you would consider some sort of a store of value. Like as you generate revenue in outside sources, you don't necessarily look at an asset, like I guess you could say a real asset like Tesla, and you're like, wow, just because I bought this 3x ago doesn't mean that this isn't a good store of value and a good asset still today, right? Because now the company is different than it was 3 years ago. It's evolved, it's gotten bigger. And the same thing kind of aligns with pTGC and UFO. The system and code was what it was, you know, a year ago when, let's say, Banana got in, but it's actually different than it is today because now there's more value in the system, right? There's more value working for the system. So it's kind of growing just like anything else would grow. So just because you got some earlier doesn't mean it's not a good move to move some of your revenue that you maybe generated playing meme coin games or even working or whatever, however you generate revenue, and still put it in a store of value that appreciates over time that's scarce, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And I think that's what people are starting to realize. And the thing is, I think more people will start to realize it, especially as people actually find out about this product. As the honest truth is, just no one even knows this product exists to date. And there's just even barely any even out there on the market for purchase.
Mm-hmm.
well, like another, we were basically $4 million away from a $300 million market cap to be the all-time high. And like, this is another thing that people just don't understand in terms of like crypto is just like the relationship in terms of the layer one or what it's connected to. If the things that are connected to it is still stagnant or going downtrend or sideways, but the particular asset is going up in value on top of the ecosystem, it's like, what do you think is going to happen once Pulse Chain and everything else starts to climb, starts to rise? And especially in terms of Ethereum, right now, everybody's waiting on Ethereum. In terms of Pulse Chain, no, there's not another thing that we're waiting on. We can say we're waiting on Richard Hart. We can say we're waiting on this, that. No, we're waiting on Ethereum to move up in price because that's going to dictate the relationship with Pulse Chain. And then once that like relationship with Pulse Chain starts moving up with Ethereum, and we kind of probably see from August to about November, Pulse Chain went up 80%. 86%. But at the same time, pTGC went up 765% or 800%. So it's like the thing that has been built for the people and it's renounced. Anybody can make a front end. It's 100% uptime. The code cannot be changed. Anybody can interact with the code. What a concept. What a concept, guys.
Dude, I think you need to tattoo that on your forehead, Coach.
Tattoo on my forehead? No, not on my forehead.
I'll play. You gotta get a tattoo on your chest or something, your arm or on your sleeve. What a con!
Hey,
you gotta get it somewhere, man.
If Zen gets a what a concept with the alien tattoo, I'll get a what a concept with a pTGC alien tattoo.
Somebody DM'd me today and asked me if he could get reimbursed for having a pTGC tattoo. I'm like, no, we don't reimburse for tattoos.
Reimbursed? Man, you already made so much money. You should be happy to go out there. That's just free advertising, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's probably did a 300X. He's like, I want a reimbursement for my $200 tattoo. Oh no, I think vehicles. I was actually thinking about switching my license plate, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to, do something. But it's like, nah, I don't want to advertise that. I like my privacy.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Mando. I guess
little alien sleeve, maybe on the arm. A little gray. In the not too distant future, and when that hits, we all need to be buying that shit and sporting it for real.
Trevor, respectfully, can you come up to the speakers, please, por favor, and talk about your experience? I haven't heard you talk. So, Trevor, if you're willing, if you're down, I see you down there. I'm just curious. I'm curious. You don't have to come up if you don't want, but
what up, dude? Sorry, I am candidly 2 whiskeys in. So what up, dudes?
Perfect.
Sorry. All right, so you want my experience, dude?
That's how we like it, Trev. That's how we like it. That Tennessee whiskey, buddy.
No, it's dude. Honestly, Coach, my experience has been awesome, dude. I just, I don't know, man. I love, everything Richard's, created and all that kind of stuff. Clearly, I'm really open about that I'm a champion for his products and all that kind of stuff. And whenever I stumbled on, pTGC, I linked up with Mando, and he really, kudos to him. He really slowly walked me through this thing, exactly what it is. And I'm a pretty, I don't know, just cautious investor, and yeah, he walked me through it. And once I realized what it is, what it can do, all that kind of stuff, I fucking aped, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
And I aped it, quite frankly, the right time. And I'm thankful. And it does it feel good to be up? Sure, yeah, it's awesome. But when you kind of zoom out and realize what this thing is, Zen, great job, everything that.
Well, Trev, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, what up?
Because you're a great case test on this, and
for sure,
you do everything with super amounts of class. It's one of the reasons why I love working with you. You become a friend of mine. But we were talking the other day about this concept of, being emotionally attached to things.
Oh,
right?
Fuck yeah.
And guys, Trevor was the epitome of Richard Hart core coin attachment syndrome, right? Literally the epitome. Loves Richard, freaking Maxi Richard, just really appreciates everything the community's done. And that's why I spent so much time walking him through. But Trev, just talk about that.
Yeah,
because you're a perfect person to listen to. Just
no doubt,
if you don't mind.
Totally. I mean, and I still am. You know, I still own all the cores, all that fun stuff. But I think it was one of the things where I started realizing the actual like specifics of pTGC and just the whole liquidity web and all that fun stuff. When I realized that I don't know, there's that weird like emotional detachment that happens. You know, I'm also that guy, man. Ever since I can remember, like when I commit, you know, I like to buy certain specific fucking things. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how to go like crazy in depth, but I'm just such a fan of Richard and everything he stands for. And then whenever honestly, actually the tipping point was talking with Zen and realizing that this thing was like built around the ethos of everything that Richard stands for. And that's when I hopped on board. That's when I really hopped on board.
The real tipping point was when you realized that a pTGC token represents the very things that you love.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a claim 100%. Check on the very things you're already holding.
Totally, man. Yeah. And like, it didn't, I don't know. And from like an emotional standpoint, it didn't feel like I was like betraying something for the other thing. It actually felt like I was benefiting what I love, you know, like, you know, and, you know, from a performance standpoint, yeah, this shit's just trucking and I love it. I'm here for it, man. You know, did I think we were going to come out of the gates with pulse change, moon and all that kind of stuff? I mean, I had my moments, but for the most part, I knew that this was going to be like a play until like 2025, 26, you know? So this is just a pleasant surprise to my portfolio, you know, overall. So, yeah.
And what about the sick merch that we're looking forward to? Can you give us an update on what that looks like?
Yeah, for
What's
sure.
the time frame on that?
Yeah, those that don't know, I mean, I'm you know, whatever. I've been doxxed for forever. It's not hard to find me, but I own a business. I have for 12 years. I'm the CEO up there, and I own a merch company. We do branded promotional merch for some of the top, you know, entertainment artists in the world, organizations. I've worked with the top Fortune 500 companies, you know, all that kind of stuff. We slap a logo on shit. We make hats, you know, apparel, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, one of my kind of, I guess one of the things I've noticed in crypto is, you know, and I get it, man, the crypto branding itself, like doesn't matter what token you're in, like the branding overall usually seems to be kind of flamboyant. It's out there, but there's like not much good quality minimal merch for like the guy that wants to go on the golf course and not look like he's, you know, straight out of a fucking, you know, a magazine, like, you know, with some flamboyant t-shirt, you know? And so I don't know, in the background, I've been like working subtly on this little project of mine, you know, just this shop that would be like premium stuff, like Under Armour and Adidas and minimal kind of stuff that might spark a conversation, rather than some flamboyant t-shirt that you look like a fucking 12-year-old in, you know? So like for me, I mean, I'm a grown man and I like to wear things that have a little bit of class, and especially when it comes to actually the quality of the product. So the product that I'm selecting for the store is something that when you see the price tag, it's going to reflect it. I'm not going to bullshit you, you know? So when you're paying $80-$90 for a hoodie, but whenever you get it, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So like something that's of quality that people love, that isn't super fun. They're flamboyant for the most part. I'm going to put some, it's funny, we were even talking about this because I want to offer some bear merch actually. Dude, that branding, my God, is the hardest thing to keep minimal because that bear is so outlandish. But, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, I've been working on pTGC merch and even some pulse chain stuff, some stuff that when you're wearing it, it sparks a conversation or whatever. But yeah, I don't know when we're going to have it out. I mean, if I had to guess, we're probably like 3 weeks away from it. Merch is kind of my first love. I played in a rock band on Warner Brothers Records for 12 years and toured the world, did all that shit. And then got into merch, and I've been the CEO at the company for about 10 years, well, 12 years now. And then, once I got into crypto, kind of saw an opportunity there where, there's just not good, clean, quality, branded, apparel out there. So that's kind of what I'm working on in the background. And I'm going to take a drink of my whiskey now.
Awesome, Trev. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. And hey, Coach, dude, I've been watching your streams in the morning with your coffee. Not gonna lie, dude, I enjoy it. I grab my coffee, I pop your stuff on, and enjoy it. So thanks for doing that.
Appreciate it.
What's up, Moon?
Mm-hmm. I see him.
Where you at?
I see him.
You creeping in the back?
He's chilling. He don't even want to talk.
Yeah, sometimes he needs to come up and talk. We need the Moon King to talk.
Hey guys, can I throw a question at Grace? Really quick.
What's up, man? Absolutely.
Grace, so, I've been bothering you about these LPs, UFO LPs, for a while, but I forgot to ask you, because anytime you DCA into it, you kind of raise your, entry level, right? But let's say if you add hex, or anyway, just one of the tickers, if you just keep adding that one ticker, does it raise all of the pools, or just this one pool that I'm adding?
You personally, if you add to one of your pools, and I think I'm answering your question, if I'm not, just reword it. But if you have an early UFO share rate and then later on you DCA into that, you're going to start creating an average. And the average is going to be between your early UFO share rate and the new UFO share rate that you're locking in on creation.
Yeah, I understand that. So that means even if I just add to one ticker, for example, hex, if I just keep adding hex, it's going to average out all the pools together, correct?
No.
Or just this?
No.
Just the hex
pair is separate, yes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's all, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And the reason I'm so hyped out about pTGC is just because you're not one of those Hexagon OGs. And shout out to Moon King B-Roots for that.
I will say,
just,
we're starting to see some of these hex OGs kind of come over though. I gotta give them a little bit of grace. I was one of them. And
well, they got no choice. And I'm thinking, because I spoke with Mando yesterday, I'm thinking that maybe I'll have the identity block syndrome with pTGC like he's got with hex. All right, that's all.
No, that dude's got like actual mental illness, for real.
Just for the record, I like Identity. I think he's a good guy. I spent a lot of time with him during the sacrifice sets as an admin, and that was interesting with the whole. I don't think it's Richard Hart behind his account thing, but that's why I asked you to come up and talk about being too emotionally attached to an asset. And just what your thoughts were about that, at this current time, when you're seeing other things just outperform what you love so much, maybe at some point it's just time to let some of that, emotional attachment go and just relinquish a little bit into the market.
No, dude, totally, man. Totally.
I'm not saying like your whole bag, but like,
no, but you gotta dip your toes in the water a little bit. I mean, I had that conversation tonight with two of my buddies back in Puerto Rico. Two hex OGs. Nobody on here knows them. They're completely anonymous or whatever. Hold decent bags, and both of them are right. They're not in pTGC yet, but they probably will be by tomorrow. And they're there's a lot of guys out there like me, man. As much as I can give the maximalists, some shit now. I mean, dude, I think it's just, guys that really care about their bags. And the thing about pTGC specifically and UFO is that it's built by, guys that really love the Richard Hart ethos, love the idea of hex, and decentralization, all the buzzwords, blah, blah, blah. But when you really, really do your research, man, there's nothing wrong with diversifying, in my opinion, into pTGC. So there's a lot more to come, and behind the scenes, Mando, that I'm working really hard to reach out to some of my other friends in the network, and we've already successfully got a few of them in. Some of them don't want to be public yet, and that's cool, and that's fine. They will be at some point. Green candles make everybody laugh. We had
a great meeting with a very large individual the other day, Trevor.
Yep,
and
we sure did.
It's happening.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, it's just this is the time to kind of just whatever, just cheerlead, accumulate, do your thing. That's what I'm doing, man. I love this token, and it feels really good to be a part of it. And I'm happy to be loud and take a few hits for the team on the way.
Loud and proud. Do we need to get a rainbow hoodie?
Yeah. No, but it's cool. It's refreshing to see some faces pop in and throw that tag down, pTGC and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is I'm still, dude, I'm cool, man. I love PulseX. I love Pulse. I love all these other tokens or whatever. So, but I'm very diversified into pTGC now. So.
Well, the best part is that nobody loves those tokens more than this ecosystem.
Exactly.
It's the system buying the tickers more than any other entity on the blockchain. So you can't argue with it. pTGC and UFO are core token maxis. That's all they buy.
And the chart's kind of undeniable too. Like if you really want to sell somebody, just put them on the Pulse PTG chart. Yep. It's kind of wild, actually.
Zen, you want to chime in a little bit?
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to add a little bit to the conversation about, people sometimes give Hex maxis or RH maxis a hard time because they're very, very hesitant about talking about other things or even getting into other things. And I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing that they're hesitant, because the RH ecosystem is in a form of a kingdom, right? And you can't just start throwing value out of the kingdom with everything that comes across the path, right? I do think that there is good products that come across the path every once in a while, right? And it's important to keep your ears open and your eyes open and try to find these products. But I do think it's important to have your guard up and walls up, just in general. So I kind of have a lot of respect to this, because I don't feel like trust should just be given out willy-nilly. I think it can be earned. And if someone's willing to earn it, then they deserve the trust once they get it. That's like one of my goals, is not to come into the space and like have everyone trust and believe what I'm saying right away, but just let my actions speak louder than words, and then let the product obviously speak for itself. And some will come sooner than later. Like for an example, Trevor, came sooner than a lot of them. Like he's probably one of the first to go about this. And some probably was like, whoa, dude, what are you doing right away? And then some was kind of like, well, I want to look into this also, because if Trevor actually took the time to study this ecosystem and he believed it was good enough for his attention, then it's probably good enough for my attention as well. And I think this will happen more over time once people actually take the time to understand the product. And I just want to kind of remind our community, which is growing, that I find it very, very important to keep building bridges to people and not try to burn bridges with like saying that I told you so's and stuff like that, because that doesn't get us anywhere and that doesn't get them anywhere. But if you kind of rebuild the bridge and say like, hey, like we're still a growing community, we're still small, there's still time to come over. I think that's important because my honest opinion is this ship, this spaceship, this UFO is going to take off with or without them, but there's plenty of seats for people to come on board, right? And the more people that can come on board a system like this, especially the believers in our age, like the people who deserve to win, I want to see everyone win. I want to see this system change people's lives. I hope it changes my family's life. I hope it changes everyone in here's lives who's listening, with an actual product that's sustainable, with longevity, with value generation, that can actually kind of change the path that crypto has turned out to be, like, of this degenerate gambling sphere of crypto casino. Personally, that's not why I'm here. I know some people are here, but I do think there's definitely a lack of products that do have sustainability. I think there's plenty of products that are on the casino end. And I'm just really hoping that we can get even more people to win, because by more people coming in and winning, the more we win also, right? Like, the more value that enters the system, the bigger the system gets, which makes this whole system more powerful. But when Pulse Chain starts to revalue this machine's really going to start to take off. And if they're feeling like they're buying a top now, they're going to feel like they're buying like a mega top after Pulse Chain's revaluation. It's just the honest truth. And that's all they will really be able to do, right? Is just buy whatever price the market gives it.
I couldn't agree more, man. And hey, I'll say, dude, you've all of you, not you specifically, but all of you have done a really, really good job of kind of creating, like, I don't even know the right word. Like
it's a classy and respectful.
It's classy, yeah. It's classy
man.
as shit, man. It's classy as shit. It's not a bunch of fuckers just screaming at each other, you know, being dickheads all the time. And it's classy. Like, I like that. I like that a lot. You know, I like to be surrounded with level-headed, sound human beings that know what they're fucking talking about, that aren't going to be dicks, that, you know, it's not about a bunch of wallet tracking and who's doing this, and who's doing that. It's more so just a team effort. And, you know, you guys have done a great job in the community of instilling that. And to that point, I'm going to point them out a little bit, but B Roots, dude, hell of a job. Hell of a job. In my opinion, B Roots has done more for Pulse Chain than any Hex Maxi out there. This dude has brought wild bank to this chain, dude. And you got to be some kind of special retarded not to acknowledge that. And he has done just, I mean, look at me, man. He, we've talked and he's, answered questions. And, it's funny, whenever we first came across each other, I was like, who's this fucking scammer? Like, what's he doing? It turns out he was right all along. So, I got nothing but respect for him and Mando and all you guys. But yeah, you've created such a community of class. And I really hope that that's preserved. I really hope that's preserved over time. So.
Oh, it's preserved. If we have anybody that's trying to start any kind of anything to the contrary, whether it's in our socials or our TGs, they're just immediately deleted. We don't put up with that shit, man.
Well, and on this topic, Trevor, I don't know if you saw today, but B Roots is actually Richard's best friend from third grade.
Apparently so.
Oh, dude,
apparently so.
He is. That's you guys don't realize that's it's been him all along.
No, dude, that photo was gold. But no, dude, I mean, B's done tons for this chain, man. I don't want to point, I'm not doxing anybody, but I got a homie who's a financial advisor here where I'm from that randomly hit me up like, dude, have you seen this B Roots guy, man? Have you seen the way his charts and he's streaming and he's hustling and this, that, and the other. And I was like, yeah. I mean, like, these are real world people with loads of cash in my personal network that have asked questions about me, and dude, I got his back all day. So yeah, this is he got, this pTGC is quite frankly saved my portfolio, but outside of that, man, like the community has been just awesome, just so cool.
Can't wait for Beards to be the judge again. Open up at court.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, the live stream today, if you didn't watch Crypto King's live stream today, definitely worth the watch. It's super funny and a lot of good content.
Totally. And one topic that I really am kind of passionate about is, I guess it's just logic for me, but I don't understand how anyone could look at what, Richard's created here, an entire blockchain that in theory is supposed to be the greatest blockchain in the world, right? And think that it was built for 4 tokens. Like I can't hop on that train, man. And that was like my first little venture out into all this other stuff. And to Mando, to your point earlier, that I just wanted to bring that up, that mindset, like we knew that there were going to be little communities that create, you know what I mean? I think when Richard announced Pulse Chain, but I think we're starting to see it, that all these little like sub communities are forming, and it's dope. It's really, really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, that was the entire premise of it, just like this week, we see him talking about PDI. We see him talking about all of the P copies, right? And before Pulse deployed, he was talking about these concepts about bonded liquidity and reflexivity and copied over stable coins actually having value with the XRP devs. And so the conversation was primed. You had to be paying attention to, what was being said, and then make a conscious decision once Pulse Chain deployed to take a percentage of your portfolio and go speculate in this new wonderland of tokens. It just seemed very natural to do, like with the conversations that Richard Hart actually put out there to his community via the live streams. So when when he's talking about, I think that PDI is going to have value, even though it's just a copy of I think it's going to have value. I don't know how much value. Don't you think that that's maybe potentially a worthwhile? Hey, throw in $200 into the thing. Well, if you threw $200 into the thing when Pulse Chain launched, it's changed your life.
Literally, man. Literally.
It's literally changed your life.
I had a friend recently call me, and it looks like he just dropped off or whatever. But to thanks to B-Roots, he started following everything that's going on, man, and was in kind of a rough spot, and just bags down, the whole thing, and popped in. What, I don't even know. He told me it wasn't a lot. It was probably under $1,000 or something like that. Popped into one of these tokens, nailed it, and paid off his entire home. Has no mortgage now. So like there's real stories, dude, of major success. And so yeah, absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, Trev, and talking. It's awesome to have you.
Hell yeah, man. I'm here for it, dude. My girl is not around. It's me and the dogs, and figured, dude, I haven't joined a space and actually spoke in, I think, since 2022, probably 21, 22. So I'm here for it, dude. I'm here. However I can help. I love pTGC, man. I really, really do. And I'm thankful to be in it. So, but also, you'll watch my tweets, dude. I still am going to shill Pulse X. I'm still going to shill Pulse. I'm still going to shill Hex. I'm still going to shill all these things because I think it's a stepping stone for a lot of these people. You know what I mean? To get into, to dip their toes in the water a little bit. So.
I do it every day too, but I don't do it from my main posting, right? I do it going outside of the community when Leia Hepburn makes a comment about, Ethereum being too expensive and Sol not being decentralized enough. And I'm trying to engage outside in their threads, right? Starting conversations with people in their threads every day,
Totally, man. Totally. And man, based on some of the conversations I've had recently with some other, and I'm not trying to like hype everybody up or anything, but this is just God's honest truth, man. Some of the conversations that I've had with some of the other influencers in the space who have, paid groups and all this other stuff, dude, like this thing's going to get bought up fast, dude. Like real fast. And, what's been created is really, really special. And I think that, I have a lot of friends. It's kind of funny. Usually whenever I talk about pTGC, the very first thing that comes up is I'm waiting for an entry. Like, dude, good luck, man. But dude, I think that here pretty soon there's going to be some pretty loud people, and I'm excited about it. And what's crazy actually is that we haven't actually seen, really seen. I mean, dude, think about it. Paul Sachs, Hex is still what, 1 cent, 2 cents, somewhere in there. We haven't seen what this thing can do with legal clarity. Richard being back, possible legal clarity. Richard doing what Richard is born to do. He's a marketer. We have no clue, and that's total uncharted territory, and that's what I'm excited about, man. Is when it's time to see it really, really shine like that. So, I'm just hoping that all my homies can get in now, just to enjoy the ride up. So this is going to be a good one.
Well, Trevor, since you said you grab your cup of coffee in the morning, what are some of the kind of like the moon boy numbers in reference to pulse chain that you've seen in terms of pTGC? Like, have you been sharing those?
You want to go there?
Yeah,
you want to go there?
I want to go there. Oh, wait, we need prayer. We got the mood. Conversation
I think you're doing that because I'm like 2 whiskeys deep. That's why. Taking advantage. Coach, I think. God, man, really?
All right, Trevor, never mind.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You want to speak for you? I can speak for you.
I will say this. I think, in my humble opinion, I think that a penny within 90 to 120 days is very realistic. Okay, that's my own personal opinion, not financial advice. None of you idiots listen to me. I think that, I'm a conservative guy, Coach. Like, to me, that's conservative. Where are we at? Like 3 zeros and a 7?
Well, Trevor, I'm not conservative in RH ecosystem anymore. I haven't been conservative since 2023 of July.
12x away from that.
We're exactly. See how that's ridiculously conservative. Like, I think penny within 90 to 120 days is a safe bet. Crazy moon boy target, 20 cents for me. I'm a conservative dude, Coach. What do you think? Now it's your time. I dropped my pants. You got to drop yours, bro.
Well, should we just do the numbers real quick?
Well, are you on that?
Nah, forget the moon math numbers.
No,
we know how that system.
I don't care about math right now. I want from the gut, dude.
From the gut? Okay, if pulse chain goes to 0.001 and pTGC does a 2x from it, that's 3 cents. So
that's retarded.
If it does a 5x on top of that, that is 7 cents. If pulse chain goes to, pulse chain goes to a penny, just say hypothetical, PTGC outperforms it by 5x. That's 80 cents. If PTGC does a 10x on top of it, that's $1.60. If Pulse Chain goes to a penny and PTGC 10x on top of it, that's $1.60. That's something.
We go to $1.60. I personally will buy you a Lambo.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I would appreciate it.
I love the numbers, man. They're fun to play with too. I think I kind of miss
now.
that.
That's real moon talk, guy. You're talking moon talk now. That's the real moon talk. Buying Lambos for each other and shit. Y'all lost damn minds.
But I think
Well,
I missed it. It's been a long bear, dude. It feels good to just fuck around with your buddy.
It really was. It really has been.
Well, like 0.001 Pulse Chain, if PGC 10x from the position where Pulse is in a relationship with PGC, that is 16 cents.
I think that is totally achievable. In my honest opinion, totally achievable.
Let's see UFO.
If
Also,
we get a great
Coach,
word,
real quick, Coach, how much Pulse? Isn't it like 1 billion available, something like that? It's not a lot.
No,
Pulse?
No, PGC, you mean? And the liquidity pool?
Yes, in the pool.
no, it's it's 5.1 billion.
1.5. Let me give you the exact numbers. Give me a second. 1.5.
5.1.
1.1 million. 1.1 million PGC and Pulse Chain.
Yeah, dude, I'm onboarding 1.1 million in the next 4 weeks. That's easy.
Wait. You guys got to clarify the conversation.
Thank you.
If I'm not getting it, I know nobody else is. So what do you mean? Clarify that.
No,
there's 5.1 billion PTGC available in the liquidity pools.
Yeah, for people don't equate math and everything. I like math. I like doing math. So hypothetically, if people want to keep on trading their Pulse for PGC, there's only 1 point. What is it? Hold on. 1 point.
1.1.
There's 5.1.
1.2. Like $1.2 million.
Oh, dollars worth. Okay.
Dollars worth.
But that's actually it's actually an incorrect assertion in the sense that the price would have to be pushed up so much that it would cost way more than that to buy it all out of the pool.
Yeah, but at the same time, if somebody came into PGC and wanted to buy a $500 million worth of PGC, we'll see. So $500 million is
not $500 million.
No, $500 million. So 500,000. That if they want to inject basically $400,000 into PGC, the market cap in terms of the mathematics, in terms of the V2 or V1 liquidity pool, that would basically bring up the price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe almost 4 to 6x from this position.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, that's just nuts. I was literally speaking to a well-known influencer in the space just the other day, and that's about the number they're. Yeah. Yep. I'll shut up right there. Yeah, dude, you're early. If you're listening, you're early.
Okay, real disclaimer though, I don't think that math was right.
I don't either.
Yeah,
sorry.
Well, Coach, your math was wrong.
I've been trying to say it,
but yes, I would love. That doesn't take away from we don't want obviously big players coming in with $500,000. That's awesome. I get what the point of the conversation is. There's only 5.3 billion PTGC left for the entire world if no one sells it. Obviously, as price goes up, people sell into the liquidity pool. But if you really think about it, only 5.3 or 5.1 billion PTGC. for the rest of everyone. No one even knows Pulse Chain exists, is the honest truth, let alone pTGC.
That is so, dude, that's facts right there. That's facts. As much as we care about this chain, not a lot of people know about it yet. Facts.
No, there's probably only like 10,000 active daily users that like literally use the chain daily.
Let me see if I can look at the metric on that.
That's like the size of a high school.
No, Zen. I think my math is somewhat correct. Of course, there's going to be human like cells into the market, but let's just equate that hypothetical scenario.
We have we don't need to do the math by hand. On look into pTGC, the Moon Math 2.0 literally is for that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You could have Banana type it in on the screen. Banana, you still there?
Yep. What do you want me to type in?
Just put in 1 million. What would an injection of $1 million do for pTGC?
Okay. $1 million.
Also, while they're doing math, what up, SJ? I see you. Good to see you.
SJ. What's up, SJ? Awesome to see you in here.
SJ needs to come up and talk real quick too.
Love SJ.
By the way,
love SJ.
SJ is great, man. SJ is.
Oh, I love SJ. She's so sweet.
Yeah, SJ, you need to come up, talk about the conference real quick for Vegas, and let everybody know about in terms of pTGC, if they get a 10% discount on their tickets.
Oh
yeah,
she might not be able to talk.
Yeah, she's coming up.
She might. Okay.
She's here.
Y'all,
what's up, SJ?
I was so tired. I'm so tired. I haven't slept in like 3 days, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hang out tonight. Like, I was kind of hoping I'd fly under the radar. I'm like, I'm just here to support tonight. I just want to listen. I do. Shh, don't tell them next. I have a bag of pTGC, a little one.
Oh yeah, right on.
We won't tell anybody.
I think it was after the FN when you guys did the FN hangout with RG3. I was like, I've been holding out on this for too long. And
SJ, if anyone gives you shit, I personally will beat their ass.
Yeah, we got your back.
I think I got.
And I'll bring Ian with me just to make sure.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here. I see you guys posting spaces all the time. I can't always obviously jump in. I'm not big on always spending time on the X, but hey, I'm here now, chilling. I'm a little sad tonight. I was supposed to be chilling with the Prairie Banana in real life. However, due to delays and whatnot, that's not happening apparently. Sad time. But,
yeah, how's everything going with what you're doing? If you want to give us a little shout out on anything, just to get people up to par with maybe the conference or anything you'd like to shout out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate you guys for all the kind words. I mean, it really means a lot, like the hate is so much louder when you hear it because it just hurts so bad. But really, the love just outweighs all of that, and it really uplifts me and keeps me going. So thank you, and thanks for giving me the time to come up here and do this. And like I said, I apologize. I'm probably not even going to be able to show my own stuff correctly because I am running on fumes right now. But things are going great with the tour, with the Pulse 369 event in Vegas. We're really stoked. We've got some amazing sponsors, Coach X and pTGC being amongst them. The Grays are represented indeed, and I'm really stoked because there's a lot of little details that are going into this event. So for those of you that may not know, for the last 2 years, myself, RG3, and Kaylin have been a team running what was the Pulse Chain Tour. And before that, Kaylin ran the KSB tour and helped them with that. So she's been doing this forever. And the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament is something that she started, and that's going to be a huge event that happens the day after the last day of the conference. So the 6th, so it's Pulse 369, Because usually, I mean, it's our chain ID, but we're going to try and have it around those dates every year. So March 6th through the 9th. Las Vegas this year. Who knows where next year? I mean, RG's dream is to fill stadiums. So instead of going to, from town to town like we have for the last 2 years, this is now going to be our focus, is to make the Pulse 369 event the premier Pulse chain event of the year. So this is like the big shebang, right? The big to do. We're going to just do it once a year, and that's going to be it. And we're going to really just like focus. Like, that's kind of the point I was getting to, is we did it in Vegas last year as well, right? And it didn't have its own branding, right? It was just part of the Pulse Chain Tour. Well, now that this is our main focus, you guys, the details that are going into this event, and like, shout out and like kudos to Crypto Culture, Kaylin, the artist formerly known as Black Hexagon. She really knows how to put this stuff together. Like, she's probably the best event planner like I've ever seen. We've gone to conferences together. I've gone to other conferences.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Dude, she's just like, not only does she know how to do it well, she's so thoughtful about like our pricing and things like that. Because I mean, like, especially in Vegas, I heard Maddie call it the conference industrial complex, because they nickel and dime you. They nickel and dime you for everything. You have a certain price for the room. You think you're going in on that price, and then they're like, oh, and it's this much for electricity. It's this much to use a projector. It's this much for AV equipment. It just keeps going and going. So anyways, all that to say, she has done an amazing job at making it, make sense ticket price wise, and for us as a team to make this happen. And one of the little things that I've just started working on is we are going to do a crypto raffle. We haven't determined how much the prize is going to be yet, but on the back of everybody's badge, when you get there, you're going to have, it's kind of going to be like a crypto quest. So we currently have 8 sponsors, and each of those sponsors are going to have a booth in this, like, I don't know how to put that, like, sponsorship room, like an event room, like, like it's where you go to find out more information about the projects and what they're doing. And the point will be for you to interact with each of the projects. You're either going to ask a question, you might have to take a selfie, you might have to do a post on X. So it's just, it's just kind of like the little things like that are going to make this a really fun, interactive time. We still have some VIP tickets available, and the VIP deal, that's a whole new thing for us too. In terms of, like, we're going to have a VIP lounge, right? So, like, anytime you want to just, like, go chill, hang out, like, in between.
Where's that located?
All of it's
going to be at SJ.
So we basically have a block of, it's like 3 rooms. So there's going to be the room with all the booths, with all the sponsors. There will be the VIP lounge, and then there will be the conference room. And they're all it's at the Flamingo. So yeah, so the Flamingo Conference Center area, we're going to basically have these whole 3 rooms rented out. So, like, conference area, sponsor area, VIP, like, we're going to make it look real cush, like cool couches, nice lighting. There's going to be snacks in there, coffee, tea, all that good stuff. Conference-wise, I think the thing I'm most excited for is that the treasurer of Nevada, Zach Conine, he will be speaking. And he has already has an established relationship with us. This was before my time, but a few years ago he was running for re-election, and there was a group of Hexicans that contributed to his campaign. And because of that, there's been this relationship built, and he and RG3 have conversations. He wants to know what's going on in DeFi and how it works, and that connection in, like, specifically is going to lead to greater connections within the political world, right? And that, I think, is one of the greatest things that we can do right now. I think Richard had mentioned it a while ago, and it's something that is close to my heart too, is just contacting your local legislators, like letting them know, hey, I'm one of these people that actually uses crypto on a daily basis. I had a woman that's like a acquaintance of mine comment, oh, I'll never use crypto. That's only for crooks and drug addicts. I'm like, what? Like, what are
Listening
you
to too
talking
much
about?
CNN.
Exactly, and people don't realize that, and that has been the narrative for a while. Obviously, politically, things are changing. That's fantastic, but we still need to be able to teach the people that are interested and that want to learn what really true DeFi is and get Pulse Chain in front of them. So, just again, just as an example of someone outside the community who's going to be there, got Zach, tons of awesome speakers. Pretty sure there's at least a couple in this room that are going to be there, and I see a few of you that I know are going to come and hang out. So, super excited for that. Deadline wise, if you guys are interested in going, just know that the hotel block pricing will end on February 4th. So if you're looking to get a
Can you tell everybody what the pricing is so everybody can
I actually don't know.
Idea? You don't know? Okay.
I think when you click through it on the website, it'll take you to. You have to select. You'll see the links for either the link or the Cromwell. We didn't do a block at the Flamingo. The link and the Cromwell, they flank the Flamingo on either side, so they're close enough, and they're a little bit nicer. The link's a little more affordable, and the Cromwell's a little more upscale. I've stayed at both, and they're both fantastic.
Do you have a website URL for people to go to?
So, pulsechaintour.com/conference is the easiest way to get there. Or if you go to just pulsechaintour.com, there's a little button that says more information about the conference, and you can see that there. And then I believe pTGC is a code you can use to get 10% off of your total ticket price.
Yep, thanks to Coach.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So
thank you, Coach.
Take advantage of that. Rock that out. Appreciate it. And we appreciate people in the community stepping up. The first time Kalen did the Pulse Masters golf tournament, there was it was things were different. Times were a little different, right? We had a lot of people that were individual sponsors. So that, for example, there was like a Pulse Chain hole, and like just one person was like, oh hey, I'm gonna sponsor this hole, and we want the Pulse Chain flag there, and and that's it. And same thing with the hex hole. I was actually just talking with I don't know if you all are familiar with Eco Builder. He and Togosh run the hex postcards. They do phenomenal work doing that direct outbound marketing. And I've been a big supporter and a big fan of that endeavor for a very long time. I'm a part of their Patreon, and I send the postcards out as often as I can. So Eco and I have been talking about perhaps doing the hex hole and having the postcards there, so people can you go up to the to the 9th hole and you fill out you put an address on it. I think it's going to be the postcard is in the envelope and you can just put an address on it and we'll mail it for you. That kind of thing. More fun stuff is someone at let's say the 9 Inch, right? Maybe 9 Inch is going to sponsor a hole, and maybe you have to golf around it. Eggplants are all over, and you have to golf around the eggplants. Just ridiculous stuff like that, right? One year they had a golf ball, or the first year they had a golf ball cannon and a cardboard cutout of Richard Hart twerking. So you would have to target the twerking Richard Hart with this golf ball cannon. Who knows? That. And that's the thing for me is I'm not a golfer. I don't golf. But if you just want to come hang out and have a good time and have drinks and cigars on the golf course,
well, that's like 90% of people that don't golf. You just get on the cart, drink, and swing the thing and hope something happens, right?
Hey, but at the same time, the greatest currency might bring home the trophy. You never know.
Ooh.
You never know.
Are we getting competitive up in here?
We never know.
So
somebody's been practicing.
The chart might pump after the conference, man.
Oh, speaking of the winnings, y'all. At one point, Axis kind of kicked it off, right? He donated one Axis. That one Axis was $50K at one point. And now there have been so many people that are contributing to that prize pool that even now at these prices, I think it's around $30K. So anywhere between now and when this conference happens, right, March 3rd or March 6th, who knows? I mean, it is already the largest crypto prize a golf tournament has ever done. So, that's awesome. Also, the golf course the golf course is sending this information out to their constituents, like the people that have come and are usually like their regulars. So there will likely be many people who have not heard of Pulse Chain coming to this to just be like, oh, I want to win a big crypto prize. Like, what's that? Like nearly 100K in crypto? Like, cause who knows what it's going to be in March. So that is something that happened the last time. 4 people won at the Pulse Masters golf tournament the first time around who were not crypto holders, and they had to become crypto holders so that they could claim their prize.
Yeah, you gotta buy a Pulse Chain to enter.
No, I don't think it's quite that way, but you would definitely have to have a wallet in order to win or to claim any of the prizes. I'm trying to think of what else. That's a whole lot. I appreciate you again, you guys giving me the time to do this, and thank you for listening to me partially ramble because my brain is so scrambled right now. I need to sleep.
SJ, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the site I was just looking at it. It says that we need to register by January 15th. Is that still applicable?
For which part? Is that
For
the
the no, I'm sorry, for the conference.
No.
Okay, there's some flex time in there.
That might have been the deadline, the cutoff for the customized badges.
Okay.
So if you wanted like your name customized on it, we did have a cutoff. But well, we might be able to fudge that a little bit. We'll see. Because like I just almost finalized the badge design itself. So get it in there. Get in there real soon.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So yeah. Anything else?
While we have you on, SJ, I just want to tell you thank you so much for everything you do. You've been just an awesome spirit ever since you came into the community, and just a ball of light and a ball of joy and just amazing positive energy. And those are special people, and I just want to say that you've been a very special person to everybody, and anybody who gives you shade is just a freaking idiot,
Or they're hurt. I think that's a lot of it. Is people are hurting and they're angry and they got to take it out on someone, and I'm like, okay, water off a duck's back. I'm gonna. Hey, so little known secret. I don't think I've ever said this on a stream or space. The J in SJ stands for joy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There you go. Yeah. I like that. A positive spirit. Enough with the negativity, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I can't live that way. Like
it saps your strength.
Exactly.
Even when the Pulse Chain bus is breaking down and
oh god,
on the side of the road, it's always joy, right?
SJ, remember that? Remember back in the day? I was like, all right, how can we raise money for this bus?
I know.
And SJ.
Yeah, I remember
what a
that.
concept.
It was funny because I remember when we started talking again. I looked back at the DMs and I was like, oh my gosh, like
we have history. We got a history.
I love it. Yeah, the bus is now a permanent installation in my mother's backyard. No more driving that thing around. So it's now my studio apartment in California.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. What's up, Dreams? Look at all these people, crypto stylists. Ariel, I'm so excited to meet you. Ariel's been like doing a lot of cool posting and stuff, and I'm into a lot of the fun. I'm just gonna call it hippy dippy stuff because that's what y'all might refer to it as. But digging a lot of her content. Oh, and I got to meet. Is it Crypto Bella? Is that what she goes by? I think that's what her tag is.
Crypto Bella.
I got to meet her today. What a sweetheart! We just sat down to dinner, so I met her for like 5 seconds, but I'll get to hang out with her tomorrow. So very, very excited for that.
Hello.
Yay!
Hi. I've been.
You know this guy, talented artist here.
I've been exploring getting back into Pulse Chain a little bit here and there. I've been interested in the Chia community. There's a lot of really smart people over there. A lot of smart devs. A lot of OGs in the space. So I've been like starting to like get my like butt back on Pulse channel a little bit more. I was having too much fun on base though. I've been having a lot of fun on base. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. I was just trying to remember. I was like, wait, I did something on base. It was to get your NFT. I was like, oh, that's the first time I ever used base, was just to collect that. So yeah, thanks for doing that. I'm a total DJ now.
Yeah, base is interesting. There's some really there's some new tech on there, and that's what drives me. I love new tech, and that's like I'm a big person in like when it comes to new tech, because that means opportunities, So that's just like why I'm over there right now. There's just like some new tech there, and it's making artists money, and artists are being showcased and appreciated, and like that's happening. Cool, sign me up,
Nice. Oh, hey, speaking of artists being appreciated, this is slightly related, and one last thing I'm going to show about the conference, because this is really important, and as far as I know, I think we maybe only have one submission so far, but if you are building anything on Pulse Chain, and you want to pitch it and get maybe, $7,500, we have a pitch fest going on. So you come and, pitch your idea, do your elevator pitch to the crowd, and we'll have a panel of judges, and then that prize will go to the winner. Last year, I believe Tang Talk, speaking of development, amazing tech, those guys I know are big into Chia as well, but Tang Talk and Project Pi were two of the winners last year. So if you guys know, spread that word for sure. Take a look at the Pulse Chain Tour X account. It's just at Pulse Chain Tour. We've started to highlight all the speakers, the events, this pitch fest. So, take a look, share it out, see if there's anything that interests you or anyone you know that might be building or doing something that could use some extra funding.
Awesome. Hell yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, that's needed in the space for sure. There's a lot of super smart developers out there, and Ting Talk, those people definitely deserve like that funding. Like creative coding, that's past me. Like I'm a 3D artist, but I'm not a creative coder. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yo, SJ,
Awesome.
I'm hopping off here. SJ, thanks for hopping on here. For real.
Of course. Good to see you,
Good to
man.
hear from you again. You too, yeah. And guys, thanks. Yeah, it's been an awesome hang. And I will holler at you guys soon.
Thanks, Trev. Thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate
See y'all.
you.
Bye. See you, Trevor.
Yep.
Cheers, bro.
Well, guys.
I am also going.
Oh, did we lose her?
No, I'm back.
What did you say?
Am I back? Oh, I said I'm also gonna take off unless y'all have another question. I really am exhausted, but I do promise that I will try and show my face in here every now and then a little bit more.
Cool.
Yeah. SJ, it's a pleasure to have you all the time. Feel free to hop in, and thanks so much for everything that you're doing.
100% happy to do it. Happy to be here. Pulse Chain loves you. See you guys later.
Bye, SJ.
See ya. Bye. See you later. Zen, where are we at? Prairie, are we good? What do you guys want to do?
We're going to answer Zen's question. He wanted to know what $1 million injected into pTGC would do, and it would move it by 1.49x. There's your answer, Zen.
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I think we're getting pretty close to the end. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We have a few listeners in here. If you have any specific questions about pTGC and UFO, I'd say this is pretty much last call on the questions, unless anyone has some conversations they want to go into.
Let me just real quick. So when you go to, if you're wanting to go to the event and you want to pay or go and get a ticket, make sure you can put in the code. It's going to be on the right-hand side of that. You just put in capital P, capital T, capital G, and capital C to get your 10%. So I think the cheapest ticket is $369. So 10% of that, you just have to put in pTGC, and you'll get that discount for you. So that's something I just wanted to give to the community, and also just a landmark of being the best performing project on Pulse Chain, and just giving out the word internally too as well. So I just wanted to say that.
Also, what you're going to do is you're going to win that trophy.
Well, yeah, I'm going to win that trophy. But at the same time, there is no pTGC up for grabs in that winning pool. And I personally put up I'm not even going to say it. I don't need to say it right now. But a certain token instead of pTGC. So there's not going to be any kind of sell pressure of somebody winning the golf tournament and wanting to Jeep their bags. So you're welcome, guys.
Coach doesn't want to give up his pTGC. You heard it here first.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done burning my pTGC. No more burning my pTGC. I'm done with that.
You know what you could have done? You could have put up your pTGC, won the tournament, and then just brought that pTGC back to you.
Well, I could have.
Do you have that much confidence in yourself?
Like, do I want to put up like 100 million pTGC up to the table? If that is the case, I'm gonna need to practice. I need to practice a little bit more.
I thought you've been practicing.
I have, but I just went to the farmer's insurance in Torrey Pines, and I need to practice a little bit more.
Especially with the size of the pot, because if real golfers are entering the tournament, like SJ said, you're gonna have some real competition there. So
hey, Mando, you don't know my history. You don't know my golf swing.
I see you posting your ass on the golf court all the time. I'm not saying you ain't good. I'm saying you're gonna have some competition. That's all I'm saying, brother.
All right. For everybody in the audience, does everybody know who Xander Schauffele is? The gold medalist of 2020. I was on the same golf team as him in high school. So
what's your game looking like right now in terms of numbers?
Terms of numbers.
How about what your game was in high school? Is that a better?
My game in that's a better. No, well, that was like freaking 17 years ago. My game in high school was like even par. So I was a scratch golfer. Now I would say maybe like a four handicap, 3 handicap.
Really? Okay.
Something like that. Could be better. I could be a lot better. I tell you that.
So if you win, you got to buy and burn pTGC.
If I win, I'll burn everything. I'll burn everything. Actually, no. Take that back. Take that. No. Take that back. Never mind. Me and Ben know exactly where those pTGC would go, but there's no pTGC that's up for earning.
Yeah, this VIP package for $25.99 sounds pretty fun. Actually, sounds pretty fun.
It's going to be a good time. If anybody hasn't been to the Vegas conference or anything, humbly, I would say it was a good time. And it was a good experience. Even though that pTGC was coming out and it was the best performing project last year. And when I went, nobody knew who I was. They're like, oh, you're Coach X, pTGC, you're $38 million market cap. I bet a lot more people are going to have a little bit more enthusiasm in terms of pTGC and UFO. So It's going to be a good time there.
Yeah, man. Well, look, I think it's probably time to shut her down. Crypto Stylist, thanks for being in here. If anybody else doesn't have anything, I think it's time to get back to the fams and the kids and call it a night.
I like that call.
Last call.
Yo, coach, bro. I used to live next to Bill Clinton's sister, bro. That don't make me a Democrat.
There you go.
Dude, you want to know what? One time, Michael Jackson came over to my house to use the bathroom.
Really?
You never seen me do it.
Hold on. Do I need to show my golf swing on like the top real quick? Like,
no, I'm just playing. But his sister did. His sister did. Coach,
that's funny.
Thanks for, appreciate the sponsorship. Appreciate appreciate that. Yeah, it's just representation, and everything is good. So appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, no problem, guys. It's like, honestly, like talking to multiple people. It's just like the chart doesn't need to do this, but at the same time, like I feel like if we don't get asked to certain things, we just make it happen. At the same time that crypto is a free and open market. It's the same concept with marketing and that kind of concept as well. So it's a free and open market. Anybody can do whatever they want. And like with TGZ and a lot of people in this community, we just put our money where our mouth is. And pTGC is more than just a code. It's more than just a chart. It's more than just green candles and red candles. It's a community, and we've showcased that over a year and 3 months, 4 months, with 11,440 people that want to be a part of this journey. So basically, that's what I wanted to do for everybody here, and also just try to represent pTGC and UFO and X Protocol in the best way, shape, or form that I can for everybody here on Bullchain. And I just want everybody to gravitate to what is product market fit, what is going to change thousands of people's lives to hundreds of thousands of people's lives. And with that being said, this is going to be a beautiful year for anything in crypto in 2025, 2026. But with pTGC, that's not the end be all, because you ultimately have to think about, like, it's burnt liquidity. It is renounced. It can never be changed. The buy and burns are going to buy and burn. The DAO is going to do the DAO. The people that believe in the system is going to believe in the system. The people that are going to be out there try to explain everything are, in terms of YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all the social media is bringing on boards of your friends, family, strangers, waiters, all that kind of stuff into the ecosystem is, like, ultimately just what's going to be beautiful in the upcoming years. So
all right,
I just wanted to say that.
Thanks for that, Coach. Appreciate that. It has been implied twice that we're about to shut the stream down. And so in respect for people's time, I think we should do that, or at least consider it Zen.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. And
Okay.
just thank you so much, Coach, for putting money forward to represent pTGC at the conference. It does mean a lot to the community.
Cheers, bro. All right, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you guys next Saturday in the morning. And show up, chill on the Telegram, chill like you've never chilled before. Like, retweet, comment, bookmark. You guys don't think that does a lot for the community? It does. You just times it by like 1,000 and bingo. So,
okay. All right. See you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Banana, for co-hosting. Coach, thanks for coming up as well. See you guys.
All right. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for showing up. It has been a long day, and I'm going to shut this thing down. I got to record a video tomorrow for that conference. So and it's stinking 9:30, 9:15. So I am off to work, and then I'm going to get off to bed to get some sleep so I can perform tomorrow. Pray Banana out. Have a good night, guys. Bye.